Hi there, my name's Darrell, it's great to OMC you and welcome to Old Man Cycling. Now you might notice that I'm not in my normal starting place. What I plan on doing now for the next few videos is to go to some different locations, and I'm going to head up into the Peak District just to keep things a little bit more interesting. But one of the things I'm going to focus on today is trying to make the video look a little bit more interesting, because I bought myself a 360 camera, and so hopefully some of the shots that you see today will be a lot more interesting and will really show off the spectacular countryside that I'm about to bike through. Now I have got a few tough climbs, so it's going to put my knees to the test, but I know today that they're only quite short. There's quite an incline, I think it's 16 degrees off the top of my head, but we'll see how it goes. So come along, let's get on with the ride. Now if you're not familiar with 360 cameras, what they do is they film, literally like it says, a full 360 degree sphere around the camera itself, and then when you get back and edit the video in software, you can decide which angles you want to use. So at the moment I'm looking at the camera, but I can just spin it round to face the other direction and see where I'm going to. But what I'm really hoping is it'll just make the videos stand out a little bit more and make them a little bit different from everything else that's available. It will give you new angles, enable you to see the scenery that I'm riding through better, and just make the whole thing more enjoyable. Now what I'm really hoping for today is to get a decent test on how my knees cope on some more hilly rides, because I have got quite a few more planned up in the Peak District, and really it's a test of how the e-bike copes with the more hilly terrain, and how much it will assist with my knees. I'm hoping, because today is only a fairly short climb, that I'll just be able to put the bike into full assistance mode and power up this 16 degree hill that's coming up fairly shortly. So just at the moment I'm not quite in the lowest gear. I think I've got another cog that I can drop onto should I need it, but I've got the bike at the moment set on level 3 assistance, so I'm getting the full assistance from the motor, and because I'm only traveling at about 7 miles an hour at the moment, I am getting the full assistance. Now just here, don't know whether you can tell from the video, it does look like it gets pretty steep. I think once I get around this bend, it does flatten out a little bit more, but I'm going to stop talking and concentrate. Oh my God. Now even with full assistance, that was still really tough. It just goes to show how really unfit I am. Didn't hurt my knees, but my thighs were burning, and wow, I'm out of breath. But I think that's the hardest bit done. Now one of the things that you'll notice with this 360 camera view now that you're looking at is that the camera appears to be floating in front of the bike, and it's got this amazing feature that it removes the selfie stick that it's been suspended on. Now probably what I'll do in another video, I'll talk a bit more about the 360 camera and how it works, but it allows me to do things like this and move the camera out to one side, and you still can't see the stick or If I hold onto the handlebars and move it to one side, you'll probably barely be able to tell that I'm holding it at all, but I can move it around, and it's almost as if there's a drone flying in front of the bike. It's really clever. When I was young, I grew up in this area, but I really didn't appreciate what amazing landscape it was. It took me going away to university and then returning to just realise how beautiful the Peak District really is. And other than that little climb that I've just done, it's taken me perhaps about 10 minutes to get here from where I work, and now you can see from this road in front of me, it's virtually flat because I'm right on the summit of this hill, and now I've got all of this amazing scenery around me, and you can see why it's called the Peak District. Just to the left in front over there are a set of hills that are collectively known as the Roaches. Now they're actually made up of 3 separate hills called Hen Cloud, Ramshire Rocks and the Roaches themselves, but they're an outcropping of millstone grit that dominate this area, and we're heading in that direction, and we're going to do a loop all the way around them and go around the back and come out in front. So that's the plan for today. A really spectacular ride. Now just here on the left hand side is a building that used to be a public house known as the Mermaid, and I think now it's self-catering holiday lets. I think it's a sign of the times that a lot of these country pubs have closed down and have been reallocated to different purposes. Now just in front of me is an interesting feature. It's actually known as Blakemere Pool, but locally it's also known as a mermaid pool, and it's where the public house that we've just passed gets its name from. Local legend has it that a mermaid inhabits this pool, and it's bottomless, and also I've heard tell that it connects with another pool that's on the top of the Roaches just over there on the horizon. But it's actually all nonsense, because a scuba diver went down and found out that the pool is only about 6 foot deep, and it's actually unsafe for swimming because there's lots of submerged objects in the bottom of it, but it makes for a really interesting story. Now, despite this road being only about 3 miles away from where I grew up as a boy, I've never cycled down it before, or even driven down it in a car. I've sort of never had need to, but it's great to experience new things, and that's a freedom that cycling gives you. It allows you access to places that you've never been to before, and especially when you've got a bike computer with a route planned in, no fear of getting lost, and it's just interesting to see new things. And this area is so beautiful, even on a day like today that's overcast, it's still stunning scenery. Now that I've come round from behind the Roaches, we've got a view down the valley that we saw from the top of Morridge, and you can see in front of me Tittersworth Water looking back towards Leek. What an amazing view again, all the way down that valley. Just truly stunning. This road's seen better days though. Time now for a descent down into the little village of Meerbrook, and so I'm going to take it nice and steady because the road's wet in places and there could be any amount of vehicles coming around any of these corners. So I'm not going to go down here hell for leather. It's just going to take it nice and steady. But it is a relief after all of that climbing to have a nice descent. So based on this ride, I do plan on doing more videos up in the Peak District. One, because I think the hills are going to help me to get fitter, and the landscape is just more interesting. It'll make for better videos. I'll be cycling in places that I've not cycled before, and everybody will get more from the videos. So if that's something that you're interested in, do let me know down below, because I do enjoy reading all of your comments, and I've had lots recently from people who have said such nice things to me about how they enjoy my philosophy towards cycling. And really, all it is I don't take it too seriously. I just get out and enjoy it. And really that's all that it's about. That's been a really enjoyable video to make. I've enjoyed getting up into the countryside and cycling on some routes I've not cycled before, and also I've proved to myself that my knees will hold up to the climbs and the slightly more tricky sections, so that's been good news as well. And also I've enjoyed playing with the new 360 camera, so hopefully you've enjoyed seeing that in the video. And if you have, you can let me know down below in the comments, because I do really appreciate everybody that takes the time to make comments, and I get some absolutely really heartwarming comments from people that watch my videos. And also you can do me a great big favor by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because that way you stay up to date with all of my future releases, but it really helps the channel to grow as well, and YouTube really likes that kind of thing. Now, watch out for next time's video. That's going to go live very, very soon. But all that's left now is to say it's been great to OMC you, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Doobie-doo, 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 doobie-doo-doo-doo. Ooh, blooming neck. So based on the success of, oh shit, that's a car come past. Classic. Just talking rubbish.